Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Posted quite a few lengthy videos lately, so I thought I better do some short ones just to divvy up the pacing a bit. And recently Novabug just posed a question out there. Other than gaming video channels on YouTube, what else do you watch? And I thought, well, there's a nice easy one I can throw together quickly. So this is my reply to Novabug. These are 5 non-gaming related video channels I watch on YouTube. So the first one is called Engineerguy, which sounds kind of like a generic title. I don't know the guy's name. I think it's Bill, and he always ends the video with, "You watching Bill, the engineering guy." He's got a great speaking voice. I think he's actually a professor at some university somewhere. And he often just talks about the history of things or the engineering of things, whether it's a Coke can or building the Titanic or the candle. He does all kinds of interesting little videos here and there that are just somewhat historical, mostly taking apart things. The Engineerguy, a really good video channel. Next channel is a movie review channel, and this is one my brother recommended. The channel is called Kermode and Mayo. It's Mark Kermode and I think Stephen Mayo. They do a radio program on BBC, I believe it is, and they review movies, like a lot of channels that I watch. But what I really like about Mark Kermode, he's obviously very, very highly intelligent, very articulate, and really dissects movies in a great way. But what I really like and appreciate about him is he does come across, if you watch his stuff, you're going to think he's a bit pompous and a little bit of a know-it-all. He has this air about him that he's the smartest man in the room, but he really will give the most crummy-looking movies a fair shot. Like last year, he voted for his best movie of the year, Inside Out. And I was really surprised about that. What, it's not some unusual Brazilian foreign film that nobody's heard of that made you seem like a very intelligent film critic? No, he likes Inside Out. And he also gave Bad Moms a fair shake and even Sausage Party. And I was just like, you know what? For somebody who's such an intelligent film critic, he is very fair. And I really like that about him. So yeah, Kermode and Mayo is the name of the channel. Check him out. This is a really interesting one. The channel's called Numberphile, and it's kind of, I guess, science-y to a degree. It's all about numbers and math, and also the dissecting of unusual things like how you tie a knot in your shoes. Or there was a very interesting one about when you're stirring your cup of tea or coffee. Do you ever notice that, like, the sound of your spoon hitting the edges of the cup sounds differently depending on what position of the cup rim the spoon is hitting? They talk about stuff like that. Like, it's really interesting. It's a great channel. I believe it's a collection of some professors from somewhere. And really, really fascinating. I really recommend, if you're into numbers and kind of math geeky stuff, Numberphile is a great channel. This is a really good one. This is James Townsend and Son, which I've actually talked about before because it's given me ideas for some of my videos. These guys are colonial 18th or 17th century reenactment guys, but instead of like doing battlefield stuff, they actually talk about cooking and clothing and how did they keep food cold back in those days, that kind of stuff. How to build an earth oven. Really, really great channel. John, the channel is James Townsend and Son, but the host is John. I think James was his dad. He runs a shop where they sell all of this old colonial gear, and you can buy hats and candles and lanterns and stuff. But John has a really friendly nature to him. He's super nice. The channel is very professionally made. One thing worth noting, these are not like shout-outs I'm doing. Novabug talked about, like, some of the channels he talked about have got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and James Townsend and Son is the same. In fact, they got a little, I don't know if you can make it out there, but they just got their silver play button from YouTube to get 100,000 subscribers. And John even mentioned, as the time of the filming, they're up to 200,000. So these guys don't need a shout-out by any stretch, but they are a really cool little channel. John's very, very pleasant to listen to, and they just talk about fascinating stuff, like what kind of pancakes did they make in the 1700s, that kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, James Townsend and Son, a really cool channel I highly recommend. Now for my last video, I'm going very mainstream, and again, just like I mentioned, these channels certainly don't need any more subscribers, they're huge. The Philip DeFranco show is one that I watch daily, as you can see, watch. I haven't watched that one yet. Philly D has a nice style to him. Now, I don't always agree with his politics, I don't always agree with his view on certain things, but he's very fair. He's got a great kind of upbeat, very quick style to him. Not only that, though, I really like how some of the news that I've heard about has been through the Philip DeFranco show. There are various news items that my local cable companies never bothered to cover and never heard anything about. And it was only when it was brought up on this show that I thought to Google it, and I thought, oh my God, is that really going on in the world? I didn't know that. So yeah, kudos to Philip DeFranco for being quite a good news channel. His shows are short, like 10 minutes at a time. Probably a lot of you watch this channel anyway. In fact, I got into Philly D before I even watched YouTube on a regular basis. There was some, I don't know, like a Nintendo website or something where he would occasionally touch on it. And I thought, hey, I like this guy. Whoever this Philly guy is, if I was to ever start watching YouTube full time, I think I might get into him. He was one of the first channels I subscribed to. Not the first, but one of the first. So yeah, Philip DeFranco show, that's where I get most of my news. Right, there is my video response to Novabug. That's 5 non-gaming channels I watch on YouTube. There were quite a few that almost made the cut and I wanted to suggest, but they haven't posted for a while. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put links down below to each of the 5 channels I've recommended, and I might even put like a special mentions or honorary mentions section below that, because there's some guys, like there's a fella called Jeavons, he's hilarious. I didn't quite get him into the top 5. There's another one, Mistake, with like a number 8 in the name of it. This guy is awesome. He just puts together little things like a catapult made out of lollipops or a really cool light shade and stuff. He's really cool, but he hasn't posted much recently, so he didn't quite make the cut. There's lots and lots of tech stuff I could have done. There's like MrWhosetheboss, who's got a really good nature to him. There's Techmoan, but I think everybody who's watching this probably knows about Techmoan. But I'll put links to all their stuff down below. Anyway, yes, there we go. A very quick video response to Novabug, 5 gaming or non-gaming channels I watch on YouTube. Until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.